Hello and welcome back to the X-Ring. Man, we have an exciting episode for you today. We have the new Accuracy International ATX. More on this in a moment, but if you're not familiar with the history of Accuracy International, they're really world-renowned for making the world's finest sniper rifles, and that's actually their motto. They've always catered to military and law enforcement snipers, and they do what they do well. They really do. I've been using the AI-AX for a few years now, and it has performed flawlessly for me in just crazy conditions. It always runs, and they really do have unparalleled accuracy. I would like to thank Accuracy International and especially Scott over at AI for being able to provide this to me for review. We are going to spend the full day on the range with it. We are actually going to change some calibers out. We're going to go from the 6.5 Creedmoor to the 6 Creedmoor and ultimately to the 6 Dasher. So stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back to the X-Ring. As you can see on the table here, we have some Accuracy Internationals, and yes, we have the new unreleased ATX by Accuracy International. What we're going to do is we're going to shoot it here at the range. We're going to switch some barrels out. This does come factory with a 6.5 Creedmoor barrel. We're going to switch it out to a 6mm Creedmoor as well as a 6 Dash. All right, guys, so starting with the rifle, we have the Thunder Beast Dominus, and then we've got the Thunder Beast bipod as well. What I want you guys to take a look at is this chassis system. This is a non-bonded chassis system, and I want you to look and see how low this action and barrel actually sits in this chassis. These are going to be released. They're already doing pre-orders now. They're going to be coming out sometime around mid-April, possibly May. It does come with a competition trigger. The competition trigger on this comes with 2 springs, so it ships from the factory with a 1.5 adjustable to 2.5 pounds, but if you switch out the light spring, you can go from 12 ounces to 1.5 pounds. It still uses the same action as the AX, 60-degree bolt throw with a 6-lug design, and it's pretty awesome, guys. So let's go ahead and get it out on the range. Let's see how she does. Stay tuned. So one of the biggest things you're going to notice about this ATX is how low it sits on a barricade. So for comparison, I have the AX, has the Area 419 rail, and you can see how low that bore is. From the top of that rail to the center line of the bore is about 1.25 inches. And what that's going to do is make that recoil impulse linear and straight back. Let's compare the 2 rifles. All right, guys, so I don't know if this is going to be zeroed, but what we're going to do is wherever it hits is wherever it hits, and we're going to just try to do the best group that we can. Let's go ahead and try it at 100. I'm going to go center of the red field. 12 o'clock on the red field is where it hit, about a 1/2 inch high.
Same holes, right? Right off the right shoulder. Yep. But just
All right, guys, so you saw the results. Brand new rifle shooting 140 grainers. That's probably going to measure about a 0.3 or so. I'm not sure. We'll just have to go check it out, but I do have the GoPro downrange. The trigger is nice. I do not have the competition trigger in the AX, and just being able to break it clean like that, it was plenty good. So what we'll do is we'll start hitting some of these steels at distance. Let me run some ballistics on this and we'll see how it does on the steels. Stay tuned. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take it straight out to 700 yards. Let's see if we can do it. We'll hold 5 mils. That should get us pretty close. We'll do a 10 by 10 steel at 700. We've never shot this. We've never shot this beyond 100 yards.
You going for the 10 by 10?
10 by 10, 700,
Alright.
holding 5 mils.
Down. Just off.
Right edge.
Just off right. Elevation's good.
Elevation's perfect.
Yeah.
Second shot, stand by. Impact.
Left edge.
All right, guys, so only 2 shots, and I was just guessing at the dope. I had no idea. So yeah, this is a shooter, no doubt about it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 more rounds using 4.8. Let's see if we can hit it. That's an impact, and 1 more. All right, so you guys can hear that. It's easy as can be. 6.5 Creedmoor is a no-brainer. This thing shoots lights out. What we want to do is switch it to 6mm Creedmoor. So I've got a proof barrel. Let me show you how easy the barrel change is. So you've got a 4mm nut right here. All we're going to do is loosen this. So I am just going to unscrew this. You don't want to take it out all the way, just kind of loose. Once you do this, what we're going to do is just spin this off very quickly. And we want to keep it from dragging across, and you want to always protect your threads, but it's that easy. So now let's switch it over to 6 Creedmoor. So same thing, I'm going to steal the barrel off of this AX. Once again, counterclockwise. And then you always want to make sure that you have this seated all of the way. So what we're going to do is just keep going till about right there. Make sure that you have contact with it. And then what we want to do is somewhere around 40 to 45 inch-pounds. So using the Borka PTL, that's it. She's good to go. So going with the 6mm Creedmoor, I'll be able to use the same magazine that we had before. So let's go ahead and try to get some rounds down range with this and see how she does. Okay, so we're shooting 115 grain. This is the DTAC, and what we're going to do is get it zeroed at 100, make sure we are good, and then we'll try to run this one out. All right, 100 yards. Here we go. All right, based on my 6.5 Creedmoor, I'm only about 4/10 high. So I'm going to come down 4/10. And this thing's pretty much zeroed in now. So I know that with 6 Creedmoor, if we're shooting at 700 yards, I should only be around 4 mils or so. So let me go ahead and send one at 700 yards. See what happens. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in at 700 if you can, down range. That's an impact. An impact and impact. Easy as it gets. All right, guys, so ultimately crazy impressed with the rifle. What we're gonna do now is go to the end game, and that is the 6 Dasher barrel. We'll go ahead and put it in here. We'll do some positional shooting because that's what we wanna see. We know the accuracy's there. We wanna see how it does positionally. We'll get some bags, we'll shoot off some props, and we'll see how it does. That easy, that quick. Caliber change, barrel change, good to go. We switched it over to 6-dasher. I am using the HRD magazine insert kit because this is a much shorter cartridge. And being so short, if you try to use it in a standard magazine, you're gonna have some feed issues. So this fit kit works very well. Let's go ahead and get this on paper. What it does, it fills in this gap here, doesn't let it go down any further. And these are 105 burgers over Varget. Let's see how it does. So guys, as we've come down from that 6.5 Creedmoor, which doesn't have a lot of recoil, but when you compare it, come down to that 6 Creedmoor, and now we're shooting the 6-dasher, it's almost like you're shooting a rimfire. Yeah, it's a little bit more, but I can see the beauty of this. So what we're gonna do is we'll set up some stages. We'll have a couple guys run it, see how they do with it. All right, so all in all, extremely impressed with this rifle, whether it were in the 6.5 Creedmoor caliber or the 6 Creed or the 6-dasher. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start running some PRS style stages, and that's where I really want you guys to see the difference of where this action is so low. So from the factory, this thing is incredibly balanced. I mean, right from the get-go. But you do have the option of being able to put in weighting systems. So when tactical is making the weights. Now, the other thing you might want to know is, guys, this is not key mod, okay? This is key slot. This is something that preceded key mod. It is Accuracy International system, and basically what you've got is you've got this chamfer, so you have a much higher pull-out strength. And so since we're going to run this in a PRS style format, what we're gonna do is put more of the weight here. It is gonna be lower. If we wanted to make it higher, what we could do, and I want you guys to watch this. If I place this in here, what I can actually do is run them up high and tighten them down if I'd like to, or I could reverse them and just put them in lower like this. So that would be the lock position. You would just simply need a 4mm. Always start the furthest out because I'm going to put a set here as well as here. So the rifle bare from the factory is going to weigh in right at 13 pounds. Now barrel weights are going to vary based on the contour of the barrel. Now the factory barrel that comes with this, the 6.5 barrel, weighs in at 5 pounds 4 ounces. Also have under barrel weights that are in production right now. So those will be ready by the time of release on the rifle. So what we've done is we've added 2 weights on the right side. What we're going to do now is flip it over to the other side. Let's go ahead and add 2 weights on this side as well. All right, guys, so there it is. We've just added 4 weights to it. Look at how we've increased that footprint. So now when we put this on a bag, it's going to be very balanced, gives us a wider stance. The other thing about these weights is they're stackable. So I could get another one, put it right on top of this, and to remove it, I don't need to take that one off and then the next one. I can take them off 2 at a time once they're sandwiched together. But let's go ahead and shoot some stages and see how this thing performs. All right, guys, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to put a couple different guys on the rifle. We're going to shoot it at 500 yards from the spool here twice. We're shooting 6-dasher. These guys have never shot dasher before. We're going to go off the top of the tire. Normally, Rick shoots a 6 Creedmoor, and Matt shoots the 6 Creedmoor. That's what I've been shooting as well. The 6-dasher is kind of new to me. So we'll do 2 at 500, 1 at 600, 1 at 700 off the rooftop. And we're only going to take 2 shots at 5, 1 at 6, 1 at 7. I really wanted to take notice more of the rifle itself than just hitting the targets. We do have a lot of wind today, and so it is pushing the bullets quite a bit left to right. So here we go. We'll start with Matt. Begin. Impact. Impact. All right, so now he's going to move to 600 on top of the tire. And guys, what we're trying to pay attention to is the rifle. I want you to look how flat it is, how well balanced it is. He's going 600 yards on a 10-inch steel. Just off. He's moving to 700.
up in the air, my muzzle brake's going upside down.
And a miss. What are your impressions on the rifle? All of yours are custom builds. You have no production rifles, correct?
No, for production.
Factory rifles.
This is the best production rifle I've ever shot. It's taken a little bit to get used to, but super soft, that 6-dasher. I like it.
Nice.
I like it a lot.
All right, Rick is up next. Again. Impact. Impact. Rick, what are your thoughts on that? As far as a production rifle, shooting 6-dasher for the first time, what do you think?
This is the first time I've ever shot Dasher. The rifle's nice. You know, obviously some more time behind it. Really get used to it. The trigger's nice and crisp. Yeah, a little more time behind this gun, and I think it is definitely amazing.
All righty.
And engage.
500 yards. You said 2.5, right?
2.5.
That's an impact. And then we're going 4-4. All right. So guys, as you can see, the rifle is very, very well balanced. We do have a lot of wind today. Like I said, just trying to get an overall view of the Accuracy International ATX, and so far, very impressed. All right, we'll do 700 yards offhand. Let's see what happens. That's it. That's how you do it. Accuracy International ATX. All right, we had an absolute blast. It was a long day, but a very fun day with the Accuracy International ATX. Once again, big shout out to Scott over at Accuracy International for allowing me to use this for the review. Big shout out to Tacticam and all those that have sponsored the channel. My thoughts on the rifle are that they've hit a home run. They really have. I like this rifle, and so much so I've actually ordered one. So I'm really looking forward to the release. I will probably go with a full handguard, and I will probably run it in this weight configuration. It is absolutely the most balanced rifle I've ever held. I do have a lot of custom bolt guns that were set up and built specifically for PRS, and those are great rifles, but to be able to take a factory, let's talk about what it is. It's a production rifle, and to be able to offer it in this platform for $5,000, that's about what you're going to have in a full custom build. The quick lock system and being able to change the barrels on the fly, just like you guys saw in the video, that's one of the huge things for me. And it's not something new. Yes, they were one of the first ones that started doing that, but you're starting to see a lot of other manufacturers offer that because it is such a benefit, especially with some of these cartridges now that are such barrel burners, especially when you're running them hot and you might have to change it out after 1,200 rounds. So it is nice, it really is. My only complaint would be I'm not a big fan of having to have tools. I do not know that on the other rifles, and maybe I missed it somewhere, they actually hide an Allen key in there to be able to adjust like the cheek riser and things like that. I will go for the folding stock option 100% because just trying to clean or anything like that, having to move this out of the way, you just can't do it unless you have this up to a certain height. I really do notice how low the action sits in the chassis. It is nice. It's going to be really nice to be able to put your scope a little lower. Yeah, this was only the only scope that was laying around to be able to put on this, but it worked really, really well at the range today. We were going to put another optic on here, but we just didn't have the time, and everything else worked out wonderfully. So in my opinion, it is a great option. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know it was a very long review, but there was no full-on comprehensive range time review on this new Accuracy International ATX. So once again, big shout out to the guys over at AI. Wish them the best of luck. I think they'll have a great shooting season, especially if they're shooting this, and I hope you like the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. I hope you have a great week.